Good afternoon, everybody. So I know I'm supposed to be posting my weekly video on the parables of Jesus Christ, but you can tune in after this one. I'm going to record that one also. But I wanted to talk real quickly about that movie that everybody's talking about, The Sound of Freedom. I've been debating if I should go watch it or not, but after watching so many reviews and reading so many reviews about it and what it's about, I decided that I'm gonna go watch it this weekend. Excuse me for the truck rehearsing. I'm gonna go watch it this weekend, and so what I did is I wanna. You're probably wondering if you should go watch it. I think you should, in my opinion. You should, because the money that's being used from this movie is gonna go to help a cause that's very, 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 for lack of a better word, very horrific. I mean, what's going on. And another thing that pushed me, that convinced me yesterday that I'm gonna go watch this movie is that because now you have the left-wing media and you have politicians and you have the woke media and you have all these people who are coming out against it. They're labeling, they're calling Jim Caviezel, who's the star in this movie, and it's a true story. They're calling Jim Caviezel, a QAnon, pusher, and that he's a conspiracy pusher, and the guy's just portraying the part of I think the guy's name is Jim Ballard from the movie, and his true story and what he's done to rescue children. If child trafficking, which we know a lot of it, but it always includes, sexual exploitation. And that's the main reason why most children are being trafficked. I mean, for them to go out and say, no, this is false, it's all fake, it's all false. Tens of millions, not hundreds or thousands, tens of millions of children around this world go missing every year. And I can pull you down some rabbit holes with me if you want on my opinion and what I've researched in the last 3 or 4 years of where people are, hypothesis on where these children are going. You can very easily know. You can easily know. There's some satanic things that are being done to these poor children. We all need to fight for these children. They don't have voices. We need to be their voices. And I'm going to read an article that I read this morning, and then I'm going to leave the video there and leave it up to you to decide whether you're going to watch the movie or not. This article is from the Daily Signal. It's a website, and the author of this article, her name is Virginia Allen, and she wrote this, and I'm going to try not to get teary-eyed because something that she says really brought me to tears this morning, especially in the beginning. She said, "Years ago, I started praying a simple prayer. Lord, break my heart for what breaks yours. I want to weep over what you weep over and rejoice over what you rejoice in." And this prayer brought me to tears because this is exactly what I've been praying to the Lord for years. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you out there pray the same thing. Break my heart for what breaks yours. That prayer is not entirely original, as the words are similar to the popular Christian song Hosanna. But over the years, the prayer has become a personal cry of my heart. Bad news, sin, and human depravity is in no short supply in our world today. We are confronted with tragedy with tragedy and evil when we turn on the news or even when we open social media. So what do we do when the brutality of abortion, the horror of war, or the evil of child sexual exploitation is before us? I asked that question Tuesday night after attending the red carpet premiere of the new film Sound of Freedom at the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C. The movie tells the story of Tim Ballard, portrayed by actor Jim Caviezel, best known for his role in Passion of the Christ. After working as a special agent for years at the Department of Homeland Security, Ballard quit his job and embarked on a mission to save child trafficking victims. Today, he runs the organization Operation Underground Railroad. I'm going to link this article on this video here so you can go and follow these organizations if you want, and works with law enforcement to rescue children from the darkest recesses of our world. I want to pause 1 second now. I had no intention of saying this, but she talks about the darkest recesses of our world. The darkest recesses of our world aren't always in dark, hidden places. The darkest recesses of our world sometimes are right before us, in the politicians that serve us, in the media that gives us the news, in Hollywood that gives us the movies and the entertainment that we so eagerly, follow or crave for sometimes. Those who are not Christians, of course, the Christians know not to partake in these things. But those it's right in front of us, but we're just so blinded. We don't want to confront these issues because they're hard. I plan on taking tissues with me when I go see the movie because from what I've heard. So they're hard. But reality is reality. Just because we choose to not face it, it doesn't make it real. Okay, and like as I've said in my videos before, just because some people deny God, it still doesn't negate the fact that He exists. So anyways, let me continue reading. As the credits began to roll and the end of the film, and I felt the weight of the reality of child trafficking, I was reminded of that prayer I have prayed so many times before: Lord, break my heart for what breaks yours. I believe that the Lord is weeping over the fact that there are more people in slavery today than at any other time in human history, and millions of them are children. The Lord is weeping over the fact that human trafficking is an estimated $150 billion annual industry. $150 billion trafficking humans. It's easy to become numb to this evil because what can I do? She questioned. But as I said, we all can do something in little ways. Just like I said, we all can be evangelists. We all can go out on missionary trips to tell others about the Lord. But we can support those who do. We can support those organizations, those ministries that do. And, you are a voice. You are part of that work. If you're contributing $1 a month, $5 a month, $100, whatever the Lord leads you to, we need to make a difference and help those people who the Lord is calling to step out and do these things. So we need to be a support to them. Some will be called, like Ballard, to surrender all that the Lord had called him to do, and work in the work of anti-human trafficking. Whether the law enforcement, special operations for the Department of State, or nonprofit like International Justice Missions. But for myself and for many of you who watch Sound of Freedom, we will still wake up the next day, go to work, take care of our families, and continue to live the life before us. But that does not mean we do nothing. I invite you to first see the movie in theaters that's out now. Then if you believe in the power of prayer, would you join me in asking God to break our hearts for what breaks His, and bring an end to the exploitation of children in America and around the world? And for those who feel called, consider partnering with an organization that is working to rescue and restore from children that are trafficked. So as I said, we make a difference. As an individual, you might feel like you don't make a difference. But as a church, as a body, as a unity, we will make a difference. And it's time to call out these people, these sick people who are trafficking children. But not only them, but even worse, the people who are receiving these children into slavery, into bondage, into sacrifice. Because yes, many are being sacrificed, believe it or not, to the cabal. Okay, many are being sacrificed. Those are the deep rabbit holes that I can pull you into if you want. So anyway, so we need to make a difference, guys. I'm gonna read something really quickly and end it here. Okay, I read this and it says, survivors of child abuse, sexual abuse, are victims of a silent holocaust, a holocaust of the soul. Unfortunately, the spiritual wounding of sexual abuse is often overlooked in discussions about the impact it has on the lives of survivors. And finally, yesterday I actually watched it last week and I watched it again yesterday. It was so good. Pastor Tom Hughes from Hope for Our Times. If you don't know him or you don't follow him, I highly recommend his channel. Him and Pastor Brandon Hullhouse, who's out in, I believe, Rock Ministry or something like that. It's his church out in California. They had an interview, and the two of them, and the title of the video, which I'm going to link also here, is We've Passed the Tipping Point. And they both feel that society in general, this country, the United States, and society in general around the world, we have passed the tipping point. We have passed the point of no return. if you see all the depravity that's going on in the world, the sexual immorality that's going on in the world, just the craziness, up is down, down is up, and everything's just turning crazy. And they talk about this. They talk about how they feel that the only one that can bring us back, the only one that can change this and restore everything is Jesus Christ. It's the only one. I'm going to read a couple of verses here at the end. In Ephesians 5:11 it says, "Take no part in the unfruitful work of darkness, but instead expose them." And John 3:20 says, "For everyone who does wicked things hates the light and does not come to the light, lest his works should be exposed." That's why the media, that's why Hollywood, that's why these politicians are coming out against this movie. In Isaiah 5:20, we all know this verse, and it says, "Woe to those who call good evil and evil good, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." And in Proverbs 8:13 it says, "The fear of the Lord is hatred of evil. Pride and arrogance and the way of evil and perverted speech I hate, says the Lord." And finally, two more. Revelation 21:8. Okay, in Revelation 21:8 it says, "But as for the cowardly, the faithless, the detestable, as for murderers, the sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars, their portion will be in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur, which is the second death." And my last one I'm going to read is Romans 13:12, and it says, in Romans 13:12 it says, "The night is far gone, the day is at hand. So then let us cast off the works of darkness and put on the armor of light." When I read this verse, it reminded me of the video that I posted the other day. Time is short. If you want, just go and check that video out. It's a really short video I did on a message that the Holy Spirit spoke to me. Time is short. Anyway, God bless you, my friends. Let me go record my other video on the parable. It's a short parable, but very powerful. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, kindly do so. I've finally been monetized, as I mentioned in one of my videos, and I have great plans for whenever I start making money based on my views and subscriptions. So I'm going to use some of it for the church that I started attending a couple of months ago. We're looking for a home church. Right now we're renting a hall. We're looking to build a church. So a good majority of whatever money I make, I'm going to give it to that, and the rest will go to charities. God bless you, my friends, and I'll see you later.